Here are 5 unconventional business ideas. These business ideas I'm going to go through today. I believe there's a massive opportunity in them, but it's going to take some creativity for you to actually implement them. This means that there's no readily available checklist, guide, step-by-step of how to start this business. These are not franchise-type businesses. There's not a lot of them around, but I believe there's massive opportunity. So these that I'm going to go through today, that if you're actually wanting a business idea that's very unique, that you can make a ton of money in, you should think about starting one of these 5 today. Number 1 is an outsourced sales company or an outsourced lead company. In this business, you are providing leads, your business is providing leads to clients. Clients are paying you per lead or they're paying you for marketing services. I own a company called Contractor Back Office. We sell leads to contractors at a very low price. Whatever it costs us to acquire that lead is less than what the contractor is paying us. So if we sell a lead for $20, we may only have $10 in the lead, so we're cash flowing that lead. We're making $10 a lead. So what you want to do in this business is make sure that you can acquire leads at a very low cost, and then you can sell them at a market or a little bit below market rate where you can cash flow making money. You can make a lot of money in outsourced sales and leads because every business, even my other businesses, we want leads, we want sales. Everybody wants sales. If you can find a way to easily do it in a specific industry by using Google Ads, SEO, or TikTok or Facebook, whatever it is, you can acquire leads, you can sell them at a profit. Number 2, virtual assistant wholesaling. What this means is, let's say I have a virtual assistant wholesaling business, and what I do is I go find another virtual assistant company, probably a company overseas, and I say, I'm going to be getting VAs from you. I'm going to be getting a lot of VAs from you. What is a good deal in which we can come to a conclusion with? And let's say I find a VA for full-time for $700 a month. What I do is I go offer my services to US-based companies, and I say, my virtual assistants are $1,000 a month. So I'm cash flowing $300 a month. Well, that's not that much. What if I were to hire the VA instead of using the VA company for $400 a month? I could make more money. Yes, but then you have to go hire the VA. You have to go do screening. You have to find out if they're good. If you partner with the right partner overseas, they're doing all that for you. You're making the money. So this is a way more scalable model than a traditional virtual assistant or staffing agency. You are essentially saying, hey, Jeff, I need another VA. He sends it over. You wholesale it to the client, and you make very good money. It's very scalable, and it's very hands-off after you place the VA. Number 3 is a business broker. The average age of a business owner is over the age of 50. This means that in the next 5 to 10 years, there are going to be so many businesses that are going to go up for sale, and so many business owners, young business owners, that are going to be buying those businesses. I even say there's a massive opportunity for you to do this. If you're looking to become an entrepreneur, you should look at buying a business because a lot of these older owners are looking to retire. Their kids don't want to take it over, and their employees don't want to take it over, so they're looking to sell. A business broker is similar to a real estate agent. They make anywhere from 5 to 10% of the purchase price. They're usually represented by the buyer or the seller. Okay, so as a business broker, if you're seeing all these transactions going through, businesses selling for $500 to $1 million to $2 million, businesses selling all the time, if you can acquire skills where you can help buyers and sellers with due diligence, help a buyer find a seller, help a seller find somebody who's wanting to buy, then you can make money off those transactions by getting some education and looking at, hey, how do we look at due diligence items? How do we look at the market purchase price, taking some classes, maybe taking an educational course on how to be a business broker, start your own firm, and you can make a ton of money in this business. Number 4 is start a private equity firm. This is a little interesting, but I will tell you right now, there are more billionaires in our country who contribute their wealth to private equity than real estate. Real estate may make you a millionaire, but private equity makes you a billionaire. So what private equity is we're going to look for a industry that private equity firms like to buy businesses in. Okay, so let's just provide an example. I own an insurance agency. There's a lot of private equity in my industry, and private equity firms want to buy insurance agencies because I do business and personal insurance, and basically 95% of my revenue recurs every year. So if I'm a growing agency, they're going to buy that revenue stream, and they know that 95 to 100% of it's going to come back the next year. So they're buying a revenue stream at a multiple of the profit. Okay, so right now, agencies that do over 300 to 700,000 in profit sell for about 7 times the profit. Okay, so let's say I'm doing 500,000 in profit, I could sell for 3.5 million. Okay, So this means that as the business grows, Nate, what about agencies that do over 2 to 3 million in profit? Great question. Those actually sell for about 10 times EBITDA, which is the profit, 10 times the profit. So if I can compile a stack of agencies that their profit is anywhere from 300 to 500, and let's say I have 10 of them, and that's 5 million in profit. You times that by 10, that's $50 million. Okay, you paid 7 times for these agencies. You're selling them for 10 times. So private equity firms, they go out, they either use their money or other people's money, and they go buy firm after firm after firm after firm. They package it up to where the multiple is more than what they paid for it, and they literally make tons of money by selling them to a bigger fish. All the way up the line, it's small fish, bigger fish, bigger fish, bigger fish. So if you can compile all the small fishes together in a net, the next fish is like, thank you. Now I don't have to do that. I will pay you handsomely for that. So private equity is you target an industry, you go buy businesses, or you could group the businesses together somehow by having an agreement with all of them, and then sell it off to a private equity company. Private equity is just so much money in it. It is insane. Number 5 here, the very unique, most unique one I have is fractional executive teams, fractional CFOs, and fractional ownership and assets. Let me explain this. Let's say my company that I own, I need a CFO, but I don't really have a budget over $70,000, and I'm not going to find a CFO over $70,000. A good CFO is a minimum of $150 to $200,000, right? Can't afford a full-time CFO, but I also can't afford to have somebody who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. So what I do is I find a company that fractions out CFOs, because I don't probably need a CFO for more than 10 hours a week, maybe even 8 hours a week. So I find somebody who I can pay $50,000, who's really good, who could probably give me the same output as somebody who would cost me $70,000 who's unexperienced. So I obtain an A player for the cost and output of a D player. Okay, so what I'm doing is and then the company that you own, the fractional ownership company that you're owning, is that you go find a CFO and you say, I will pay you $200,000. That CFO is then farmed out or, put out to different companies. They have different clients, and hopefully the income from that CFO is $250,000 to $300,000. CFO makes $200,000, you make $50,000 to $100,000 off that CFO by fractionaling their services out. This can also be done in operations. Maybe somebody needs an operations director. Maybe they need somebody to come in and fire a bunch of people. This also can be done in ownership of equipment. You think of a very expensive piece of construction equipment, and you could say, hey, I'm going to go find, let's say there's companies that need cranes, right? They're tired of renting them, but they can't afford to buy one themselves. So you go find 3 companies who want to come together and own the crane, and you charge a management fee for bringing those people together and managing the contract between those 3 people of that fractional ownership and that asset. This is also done in the private jet industry, that it's far easier, and from a tax perspective, to fractionally own a jet with 5 to 10 other people than to own it yourself. You still get a fraction of the tax benefits, but you have a fraction of the cost, and you're probably not using it 100% of the time. You're only using a fractional piece of the time. You're not flying that much. People that fly all the time need 100% ownership in a jet. Do the same thing with boats, and you can do the same thing with rental properties. I don't know why more people don't do this, where they say, hey, look, we could buy way more properties if we pool our money together from a fractional ownership standpoint, and then we go buy more properties, which improves our overall cash flow and reduces our risk because we have more than one property. So fractional ownership, where you can come in as a fractional ownership management company, where you can come in and say, hey, look, you guys are all wanting to come together, but the issue is if y'all break up, this is going to be bad. What we do at fractional ownership is we help establish this relationship. We provide management of these relationships. So if somebody steps out of line or they don't pay, guess what? There is a intermediary that will come in and make sure that we go find somebody else who wants to enter this relationship, or what are the next steps to where we can go after that person who's not paying or not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Fractional ownership is huge, and so many people, as they want to grow their companies, they want to have A talent, but they can't afford it. So they need to fractionalize that out. These are 5 unconventional business ideas. If you're looking for a business idea, I do have an ebook right here. It is your next business, how to find a business idea and scale it to over $1 million. I'm selling this book for $5, which is at cost, very inexpensive, very cheap, but it outlines how I've grown my companies to over millions and millions of dollars of valuation, how to find your business idea, how to actually find opportunities in your community, how to scale that business, how to grow it to over $1 million, and get yourself to the next phase of your entrepreneurial journey. And as always, check out these businesses. Maybe you want to start one. Maybe you have questions. Reach out to me on my website. I have a link below. And the link to my book is also below. And I'll be posting content on a weekly basis. Thanks. Please like and subscribe.